Hey everyone, today I'm gonna talk about my 5 most recent DNFs. These are the 5 books that I DNF'd after the last recent DNF video I did, I guess I should say. And I think you can look forward to another recent DNF video pretty soon because I already have some new ones. So yeah, this is just me basically kind of wrapping up the books that I did not finish because I do really like to talk about them. I don't know, it gives me closure. Like, I know I DNF quite a lot, but it's mostly because I mark them as DNF on Goodreads. I still write a couple of words on it and I kind of wrap it up for you. So to me, it feels like something that I just finished. Even though I didn't finish the book, it's a thing that I finished. I don't know if that makes sense, but these videos just really help me to actually DNF things because then I can still talk about it and just kind of have closure, and then I'll forget about the book. So let's get into it. So first I have The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill. I DNF'd this at 86 pages, and this is supposed to be a Little Mermaid retelling that has feminist elements in it. Now, it is those things. I just did not like at all how the feminist elements were handled. It was just the kind of all men are bad approach to feminism, which I just hate. And every man in this book was a disgusting piece of shit. And I just did not want to read about that. Like, it went so far that I would not have been surprised if the main character's father would have sexually assaulted her. Like, it is that kind of really intense book filled with so many vile men. And I didn't want to read it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't feel like I was going to get some kind of good message out of this. I just felt horrible while reading this, and I just was not a fan at all. I just think this was almost like too simple. Like, this approach is so simple. Like, I like portraying different power dynamics. I like men being scared to face their own misogyny. I like all of these things. Like, there's so many complex issues to this. But just being like, all men are shit, that's just boring. You know what I mean? The beautiful cover couldn't save it either. I was honestly really, really disappointed by this. And it's so interesting to me because I really thought that both Only Ever Yours and what was the other book by Louise O'Neill, Asking for It. I thought that both of these books were really strong. Both of these books were also very much filled with just a lot of horrible men. I don't really know what went wrong with this one. I don't really know what happened that this one really didn't speak to me, and I just thought it wasn't well done in comparison to the other ones. But this just completely missed the mark for me. Then I DNF'd These Rebel Waves by Sarah Rash at 12%. This was actually a book that was on my 5-star predictions, so I had huge expectations for this. And even before I started reading it, people were already saying, well, it doesn't have gay pirates as everybody thought. In general, it's not all that much about, pirate stuff. And I was already like, well, that sucks. Because that is really why I was so looking forward to this and why I had so many hopes going into this book. And, I think it was good for me in a way because that definitely lowered my expectations. And I was like, I'm still ready to give this a chance. It's still a YA fantasy that I just want to read. And so let's just get into it. And I was like, it's good that I know, it doesn't have a lot of pirate stuff. It doesn't have gay pirates. I thought that was just a really good thing for me to know going into this. But then I just found it to be so slow and info dumpy, and knowing that there wasn't going to be the payoff that I wanted, and having in general read a lot of not good thoughts about it, I just realized that I didn't think this was worth my time. It probably would have been a fine read for me. Maybe I would have given it 3 stars. I don't know. I don't know what would have happened. Maybe I would have loved it and given it 5 stars. But the beginning of it just was not enough for me to want to give it more of my time. At this point, nothing about it intrigued me enough to want to continue it. And so that's why I DNF'd it. Then I DNF'd It's Not Like It's a Secret by Misa Zagura about 50 pages into it. I mean, I kind of went into this one already expecting that I probably wouldn't really love it all that much because I had heard very mixed things about it. And then I just wasn't really engaged in it. I didn't really have any urge to pick it up. And just knowing all of the problematic things that were to come, I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna give this any of my time. You know, I was ready to like overlook the problematic things if I would have enjoyed it, but because I wasn't enjoying the beginning, and then I read through reviews again and looked at the exact issues this has, and there's some really bad shit going on there. Like the beginning where it has a lot of stuff that like seem a little bit like racially problematic, that's just the beginning. It seems to get way worse. So it has like problematic elements for both like race and for queer aspects as well. It just seemed like a whole shit fest of problematic things. So I was just like, okay, if I'm not enjoying this, I'm not giving this any more time. And honestly, if you want to pick this book up, I highly encourage you to read through some reviews on Goodreads from Own Voices reviewers, because holy shit, there's some shit going on in that book. This is one of those books where I know this even had sensitivity readers. I'm just really wondering how this book got published, knowing all of that. I just... wow. Then I DNF'd Where Futures End by Parker Peavyhouse at 77 pages. I was so excited for this. Like, I was really intrigued by it, and I really wanted to just know how this whole book would play out, because it has such an intriguing synopsis. You know, this is done in like 5 parts, and at the end there's like apparently a good payoff for that, but I read the first part and was very bored by it, and I was like, well, that's fine. You know, I'm ready to read through something boring if the payoff is good. But then while I was reading the second part, I was just frowning my way through it. I was just so fucking confused. I did not get what was going on at all. Like, I couldn't guess how these parts would be connected, but I also didn't understand the part by itself. And so I was just like, I can't. Like, I just realized reading this that the payoff would probably not be worth it for me to go through this book. And then finally, I DNF'd what was really the saddest book for me to DNF, because I did not expect this in the slightest, and that is Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. I DNF'd this at 145 pages, so I really took my time DNFing this. But, you know, if a third into a book I'm still thinking about DNFing it, that's usually a good sign that I should probably DNF it. I don't know, I wouldn't even say it's bad. I just was not engaged in it. And then I realized, okay, I'm not really currently enjoying this, so I put it down, and I didn't have any urge to pick it back up. On the contrary, the more I just left it, the more I realized I am not interested in knowing the rest of the story at all. Like, I just didn't care about any of it. Like, I didn't have any connection to the characters. I didn't really think, like, I know this is maybe my fault as well. I didn't really know that it was gonna be like a steampunk kind of world. You know, I was just like, pirates, female pirates, oh my god. And I didn't really realize that it was gonna be steampunk, and steampunk is not really my thing. I do think that if steampunk is done well, I can definitely enjoy the world building, but I wasn't really interested in this world building. Like, just nothing about it intrigued me. The characters, the plot, the world building, nothing. I just really wasn't interested. I still definitely feel sad about it, but I don't really see myself ever going back to it. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it is, you know? As I said, like, I gave this such a huge chance. Normally I DNF like before I get to 100 pages, so I tried, but I guess it just wasn't for me. Anyway, these were 5 of my most recent DNFs. As I said, I'm gonna do another one probably in just a couple of weeks. And yeah, let me know any of your thoughts on any of these books, anything you hated as well, anything that you felt completely different about, that you loved, anything that you're shocked by. I think Seafire is probably the one that most people are shocked I DNF'd, which I agree, I'm shocked too. But yeah, I make new videos every Wednesday and Sunday with occasional reviews on Friday, so click subscribe to never miss anything and hit the little bell so you get notified as well. And thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll see you soon. Bye!